Hey guys, it is Saturday, September 28th. I'm making my way up north. Gonna head to a TTC service station, Hillcrest. I gotta look at the sign to read the actual name. The Hillcrest Complex. I guess they're gonna be doing some upgrades soon. But today is the 100-year anniversary open house. So yeah, this is just up the street from where I live, and it costs $5 to get in. But I'm sure it'll be worth it, right? You get to walk around all the buildings and stuff, and they even have a old streetcar running, so that's pretty cool. Since the streetcar just took off, I figured I'd check out the Frog Shop. Wasn't sure why they called it the Frog Shop. Kind of seems like a machine shop. There's that guy in green, I guess, works here. And yeah, you know, as he's talking to everybody, he explained this is what they'd call a frog, because when you look down on it, it looks like a frog, I guess. These X crossing things for the tracks. And I guess in the past they used to just make those, but they don't really use those anymore apparently. Right now they're making these W1A plates. The guy, he said that like we're supposed to know what that is, other than like we can see it right in front of us, but like yeah. These are apparently for the turns in the streetcar, or I guess subway tracks, because they had like a slight angle on one side of the rails to help them turn. So yeah, now it's a fabrication shop. They make everything there apparently. You know, if they don't need enough for a big bulk order at a different place, they'll make it there. Like those W1A plates, they're gonna make like 3,000 of those apparently. Anyways, in this building they also have a wood shop. Pretty neat, lots of CNC stuff going on there. And then across from there is the sign shop, which again, pretty cool. Big printer going on there. The guy talked to me and he's like, yeah, we're gonna put that sign at the new south entrance for Museum Station. And he gave me a couple of TTC stickers, and I put one of them on my helmet. This also seems to be where the most like notices are posted. Lots of things you could read here that I was like, oh, kind of neat. Anyways, I came back out, and the streetcar, it does 2 loops around the building. So yeah, I'm gonna ride the Peter Witt streetcar. This is based off of an American design, but was made in Canada. And yeah, I like how they have a bunch of old advertisements up top. That's fun. And yeah, the windows are kind of neat. You can just like open them up. So yeah, once everybody was on, we're off doing our loop. There was a guy getting the children to like come up and like ring a bell or something. Not really sure. And while it's cool to ride the streetcar, the view is a little bit like, yep, here's some dumpsters and garage doors. Wow, lots of fluorescent light bulbs there. And then yeah, passing by, pretty sure this is the wood shop. Yeah. And on the second loop I did sit on the other side of the streetcar and had a look around. Got lots of propane tanks here. How cool. They did have someone manually opening and closing the back doors, which I think there's like pressure plates on the steps, so I think those used to open the doors. I wonder if it's just broken now. Anyways, after that, I'm gonna go to the streetcar facility. And as I got in, there's a guy showing us a video. And this facility is where they build the intersections for the streetcars. They build the whole thing in this facility, and then they disassemble it and put it in place. Hopefully on the street it takes 2 weeks. Although, I mean, I've seen it take longer than 2 weeks. But, you know, they're trying, I guess. Over here, this is one of the machines that they use to lift up the tracks. They'll use them at the facility to load up the trucks, and then out in the field they'll place them with this thing. It's pretty cool. So yeah, you can see the big yard with a bunch of their vehicles. Different stuff going on. Pretty neat. And then over in this warehouse, they have the bending machine set up. I'm kind of wondering if do they always do the bending here, or is this where they like build the intersections? Is this just like a display? Yeah, one of the guys who's just like hanging out talked about apparently they bend 3 rails a day. It's a very slow process, but I don't know, that's how they do it. And then the guy's like, yeah, you know, it's not the most exciting job, but it's honestly the best job I've ever had. Like, it's... I guess the TTC union's, like, pretty good. And, I mean, you only need to bend 3 rails a day. Sounds pretty nice. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm over in one of the next buildings. It was like the D.W. Harvey building. It's named after like the first or second superintendent of the TTC, who like died 70 years ago kind of thing. But yeah, this is a guided tour, and he's showing us around. He just showed us the motors, and here's some parts for the streetcar wheels. This is a completed wheel with the tire on it. Yeah, that metal thing is still considered a tire, I guess. And then over here they have a 200-ton hydraulic press that they use to put the wheels on the axles and the bushings and stuff. And the big rails on the ceiling. They used to have like a little cab with a guy in it to control it, but now they just use an electric crane that's controlled by wire. That seems smarter than having a guy up there. And I'm kind of in the back of the thing now, so I'm not hearing every detail, but you know, you can see you got some like bike racks. Yeah, the sheet metal shop. Apparently they made a bunch of COVID dispenser stuff here. Like if you ever use that foot press thing that like dispenses some hand sanitizer, yeah, they just made them there. And yeah, some completed streetcar wheels. Pretty cool. And then this is I think they called it a table. This like thing. Since I was in the back, I was listening to some of the other guests, and one of them works here, I guess. They say when a mechanic retires, they send him off on this table, where they like load the streetcars onto this, and then they move them to the different bays with this thing. And yeah, they they send the guys out on the table as their farewell. Kind of neat. And now, yeah, getting into some of the bus areas. This bus was in, or at least it had a front collision, and you know, they've stripped it back, most of the bus, looking for secondary damage on the frame, and it seems pretty good. This guy is like, yeah, you know, we're work as fast as we can to get these buses back out there. Apparently they don't have enough buses, so they're always trying to get them fixed up. And yeah, another woodworking shop. Kind of an ominous sign up here. Dance today, you may be dead tomorrow. It's classic workplace safety signs, right? I like these diagrams of every part on the buses. So you can, order new parts, I guess. Or just keep everybody on the same page about what you're talking about. And then this is the seat workshop area. Doing lots of reupholstering. Not just passenger seats, but also the driver seats. They would call the driver seats non-revenue seating, whereas the public seats are revenue seats. And just an example of some of the chairs that they've been working on. They look new when they're done. And they're redoing some of the revenue seats. Apparently the glue they use is water soluble, so they just soak them for a few hours. And then the old cloth just peels off. And then they make them all here, and they send them out to get attached at the different garages around the city. So yeah, pretty cool. Employee Wall of Fame, nice. So we're walking up to the painting bays. Yep. Some example parts that they've painted recently, I suppose. And they had a guy with a like an airbrush, and it's full of water with food coloring in it, but you can give it a go. And I used it. It was pretty nice. I was like, yeah, that's some good stuff. Then they had some simulators at the end of the tour. And it was pretty much like you can hang out for a bit or head out. So I was ready to head on out. Pretty neat overall. Those were the main buildings that you could check out. I did go back into the gift shop, and I bought a couple streetcar maps. You know, Tyler, it's his birthday today, and he has told me in the past that he wanted one of these maps, which I think will be pretty good. It was actually printed at the sign shop here, so that was nice. And yeah, they had a bunch of the vehicles set out. You could look at some old ambulances. Yeah, I kind of regret not telling more people about this, but I've been to some of the open houses where it's mostly just like a barbecue and like some signs you could read. So yeah, I wasn't sure how cool it was actually going to be, but it was pretty neat. Then I rode home with my signs, and kind of just chilled out for a bit. I did go early to get to, avoid some of the crowds. And then I think I edited an Andrew Quest episode. But now it's the afternoon. I'm making my way over to Medieval Times. Yeah, like I said, it's Tyler's birthday today, and to celebrate, we're going to Medieval Times. This building's kind of surrounded by a bunch of parking lot, but there was some spots for bikes. That bike rack was even bolted to the ground. I was like kind of impressed. And then there are bike share bikes, but the docks are all full here. Yeah. Anyways, met up with Tyler, and we're heading in. They say to come early, which Tyler and I did. You could still see some people heading out. I guess they do 2 shows a night, at least. When we left, it was like 9:30, so maybe they could have done another one. But who knows? Anyways, looking at the swords, we got a falcon guy. Like, yeah, that's cool. Their horses. Little viewing area. And these guys, you could pay to get knighted by the queen. This is the master of ceremonies guys up there. Yeah. Don and Adam arrived, as well as Arthur and Dandy. They were taking the bus, and it got ultra slow once they got close to the X. But they made it in time, with a few minutes to spare even. So yeah, we're gonna be cheering for the Red Knight. When we got in, we got assigned red crowns. So, you know, you gotta cheer for your guy. And yeah, having never been to medieval times, I wasn't really sure what to expect. I saw some pictures of the arena online, but like other than that, I was like, alright, they're gonna like fight and stuff, right? So it was kind of neat. They fill up the arena with some fog, and then they introduce every knight individually. Our section, you know, it was like I said, red. We're gonna be cheering for the red guy. The people behind me were losing their minds, like screaming. Which, it got old kind of fast. Like, our knight, he was looking pretty cool, but I'm like, you could please just cheer. Do not literally, like, do an ear-piercing scream every time he comes out. I've been watching the show for like 5 minutes and I'm already pissed at the people behind me. Luckily they didn't scream forever. But yeah. Then they brought out some toast and some soup. I was like, alright. So before they start to fight, they gotta do some like, you know, just showing us some horses, I guess. It is a 2-hour show, so there's gonna be a little bit of like filler. I mean, it's kind of neat to see a horse. That one took a shit, and I was like, are they going to clean that up? Which, they didn't clean it up for a while. Oh yeah, and the falcon guy. Falcon guy, pretty cool. And the falcon, also pretty cool. It, like, flew kind of near us. I was a little bit nervous about, you know, getting shitted on. As a person who's gotten shitted on by a bird before, it's not, like, great. But luckily it seemed like no one got shitted on. And yeah, the bird's alright. It ate something. That was a part of the show. Then the Queen's Guard came out. Yeah, sorry guys, this is gonna be like a half-an-hour episode. And again, the Queen's Guard, they just kind of like ride horses around. This is when they gave us half of a chicken, which it was pretty tasty. Also kind of seemed like they're doing some filler stuff while you eat your chicken. You know, you don't really need to watch your knights pass flags between each other. I'm not sure what this was about. Like, was this a part of the competition or something? Sometimes they would drop the flag, and maybe that meant something, but yeah, neat, I guess. Oh yeah, our knight, he's throwing roses into the crowd. Again, the people behind us are losing their fucking minds about this. It was those people. I mean, I guess they wanted a rose, and they got them every time they came out throwing roses. So yeah, some more jousting things going on. I guess they're trying to get their lance through a ring or something. It was kind of far away, I couldn't really see it. And they put some flags on their lance. I mean, I probably sound pretty unimpressed as I'm like rewatching this, but this is like the third time that I'm seeing this, because, you know, I watched it in person, and then I watched a lot of it again as I was cutting this down, and now as I record the voiceover, I'm like, yep, here they are again. So know that I am having a good time when I'm watching this in person. I'm into it. I'm like, yeah, Red Knight, come on, woo, they're gonna fight soon, right? they are gonna fight soon. They're just hyping up the crowd. Eventually they did pick people to actually fight, starting off with Blue Knight versus Black and White Knight. I kind of wish I knew their stage names, but every time they like introduce them, the crowd would just like cheer ultra loud. It's like I cannot hear anything that they're actually saying. So, you know, the crowd is just cheering for them by their color, which I mean is fine. But my immersion, you know, I want to be like, yeah, Sir Lancelot, go for it. Oh well. After doing some jousting, here's the duel. Which again, I am going to cut down. But it was pretty fun to watch. You know, I was like 95% sure that they're just like gonna do some stage fighting kind of thing, but there was a little bit of me that was like, are they gonna fight for real? Not to like hurt each other, but like, I don't know, just whoever wins the duel kind of thing. But like, nah, they're just having a good time. It's still fun though, you know, it's like wrestling. There's still some cool athleticism and stunts going on. Yeah. Our Knight versus Red and Yellow Knight. Our guy, he got injured during the joust, but he's persevering. He's gonna battle on anyways, even though he's hurt. Which I was like, alright, we're setting up an underdog story. Of course, our guy's gotta win, right? Yeah, I don't know. He's pretty effed up, apparently. Wow. Yep. Turns out, Red Knight ain't gonna win. And Red and Yellow Knight wanted to kill him. I was like, whoa, what? He's gonna kill him in front of us? But the queen was not into it. She's like, don't kill him. But ultimately, as a crowd, we had to cheer to make sure that he didn't get killed. And I guess we cheered enough, because he did not get killed. And it is kind of a funny story point, because at the end of the show, I mean, they've set up Red and Yellow Knight as a bit of a villain, but the people in our section were chanting to have Red and Yellow Knight killed later. So anyways, the other knights fought. Green Knight doing his thing over here. Yep. This guy's head blocking a lot of the show. Ain't that just the way? Yeah, pretty neat when the sparks fly from their swords. You'll see that more later. The sparks weren't always flying, but when it happens, it's pretty cool. Anyways, the Green Knight won, and he immediately gets to choose somebody to challenge. He chose Black and White Knight, which, you know, after I watched the show, I was like, damn, Green Knight didn't, like, really get to do anything. And I guess he does do 2 fights, but they were back-to-back, so in my mind it was just, like, 1 fight. But, yeah. I hope you're not attached to Green Knight, because we pretty much don't see him do anything again. Wow, what a battle. Anyways, after that, I guess we're doing a loser's bracket with Red Knight and Blue Knight, since they both lost and they're just out here doing another joust. It's hard to tell who's like winning or losing the joust, other than I guess the loser throws his stuff to the side and then jumps off his horse. is how you tell. So yeah. And I think they set it up so it was like if you win the joust, you're supposed to also like choose your weapons. Again, I'm unsure of the rules. Everything kind of just like happens, you know, once they're going. And this is pretty cool. Dual wielding swords. I was like, ah, yeah. Red Knight gets a win here, which is nice, you know. I was glad that our guy got one win at least. Unlike the people who were rooting for Blue Knight, I guess your guy just lost both times and that was it. So sucks for the blue guys. Yeah, and then when I wasn't recording this, but the Red and Yellow Knight came back out and like did an underhanded attack on a Red Knight. And you know, Red Knight, he's chill about it, I guess. He's like, yeah, let's fight it out. F it. And we're like, yeah, the underdog story, right? He's gonna win. No, he did not win. The underdog story. He tried though. Yeah. Anyways, Red and Yellow Knight, you know, what a bastard. He came out when he wasn't supposed to, and he attacked the Red Knight. He wanted to kill him and stuff. Definitely the villain of the show. So I guess, you know, that's good for a final battle. It was kind of neat to see them do a little bit of sword play on the horses. And Black and White Knight, he's got a lance here, and then he like smashes this guy in the back. That was cool. I wonder what they do to like make the lances explode like that. But yeah, some good sparks coming off these swords like that. Whew. And these fights are like 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes if you include the jousting. That's some pretty good stuff. Black and White Knight won. I'm pretty sure the announcer was like, you want to marry the Black and White Knight as your new king? And she's like, nah, I'm not really feeling it tonight, so we're just gonna parade around and like be happy. So that's chill still. I'm like, yeah, you know, you don't gotta marry the guy. So anyways, that was pretty much the show. The Black and White Knight, he did walk into the crowd for a bit. That was cool. But yeah, medieval times, never been before. I'll probably go back one of these days. That was fun. We were like, do they do the same show every time? I imagine not. I kind of wonder how they choose who's gonna win each night. But yeah, I rode bikes with Tyler over to Adelaide and Bathurst, and saw a guy doing a wheelie on an e-bike. I was like, that's fucking crazy. But yeah, you know, Saturday night, like, it's pretty busy on the street. So I just went home. Too many psychos out there. But yeah, when I got back, the folding chair that's usually here is missing. I'm like, did somebody steal the chair but also not the cushion? It wasn't like a good chair, so I don't know why someone would steal it, but it's just weird that it's gone. Anyways, later guys.